Main man, made man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. I thought I'd get up on here real quick and kind of straighten some shit out. It seems as if that there's a lot of Manny Pacquiao hate going around now since the Jesse Vargas fight has been announced. The word cherry picking has been heavily accused of by Manny Pacquiao. People are saying that he's cherry picking by facing Jesse Vargas, a world champion, and he's basically afraid to face Terrence Crawford. Well, that couldn't be more farther from the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Those of us who study the sweet science and we know Manny Pacquiao, we all know that Manny Pacquiao ain't ducking shit. I truly don't understand how people can use the word ducking and Manny Pacquiao in the same fucking sentence, man. This is a dude that went through 8 divisions and fought champions in every single one of those divisions, ladies and gentlemen. This is a man who's ran away from none of the top tier fighters within the last almost decades. So, are you fucking kidding me? How can we accuse Manny Pacquiao of ducking anyone? Anyone. There are so many lies and myths now going around about Manny Pacquiao, man. One of the, he's been crowned, fighter of the decade. Are you fucking kidding me? Y'all accusing him of ducking? Have we forgotten, ladies and gentlemen, have we forgotten who Manny Pacquiao is? Why he is the icon that he is in the Philippines? Why, did we fucking forget to say he's ducking Terrence Crawford? He beat the dude who mentors Terrence Crawford and Timothy Bradley, but he's ducking Terrence Crawford. He went up and fought men that were much bigger than him, and guys like De La Hoya and Hatton and Cotto and Margarito, but he's ducking Terrence Crawford. I like Terrence Crawford. I like Terrence Crawford a hell of a lot. Very skilled fighter, no doubt about it. But Terrence Crawford even knows that Manny Pacquiao ain't ducking him. Only people that are accusing Manny Pacquiao of ducking Terrence Crawford are just delusional ass fans. Simple and Simon. Motherfuckers who don't understand the politics of boxing. People who don't realize what the fuck is going on behind the scenes. Manny Pacquiao ain't ducking no one. I don't want to really see him fight Jesse Vargas either. But I understand what's available to him. I understand what's realistically available for Manny Pacquiao to fight. And at this present moment, it's either another fight with Timothy Bradley. It's either another fight with it's either the fight with Jesse Vargas, another fight with Marquez, or throw in Brandon Rios if you want to. That's all that's available to him right now, realistically. Rest of the guys are not available to him. Why is that so fucking hard to understand by people? I have no idea. Manny Pacquiao fights for Top Rank. They make his fights. They know the fights that they can make. And knowing that Manny Pacquiao only got 2 fights left, they are trying to maximize the dude, man. Get as much money off Pacquiao as they can before he calls it quits. And they are not willing to sacrifice another one of their superstars when they are running low on superstars at Top Rank for a Pacquiao fight. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. People are now going through the resume of Manny Pacquiao saying, oh, well, he fought fighters coming off losses. Let us take a look at this because I am so sick and tired of hearing that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So let's set the record straight right here, right now. Let's go through some of Pacquiao's opponents, shall we? First and foremost, Manny Pacquiao keeps fighting the same people over and over and over again, right? Well, once again, this goes back to the politics with Bob Arum in Top Rank not being able to make fights with Al Heyman and his PBC fighters. When these guys are fighting under another model that Manny Pacquiao was fighting. And in order for Manny Pacquiao to get a fight with these guys, he's going to have to give up much more cash than Top Rank and Bob Arum wants to give up, especially if the other guy is not that nearly a big of a draw. You get me? So, he can't fight a lot of those guys. Period. Point blank. That's just where it stops. If you guys want to see those fights happen, fucking write letters and emails and shit to HBO and Showtime. Because those are the only 2 entities that can really make these things happen. Al Heyman and his fighters are priced out of the market, ladies and gentlemen. Why is that so hard to understand? All right, next thing. Manny Pacquiao beat a lot of his guys coming off losses. Let's investigate this. Now, people love to go on and say, hey, well, Manny Pacquiao beat, guys coming off losses, man. That's the only way Manny got around. He was a con artist. But they never tend to mention that these same fighters that supposedly were coming off losses to face Pacquiao also went on in the future after Pacquiao to go on and have very, very good wins in their careers. I don't know where people get this just because you lost a fight previous, you're supposed to lose the next fight shit from. I don't know where that come from. I remember, fighters like Ali and the guys from the past, they would lose a fight and turn around and still get in big fights the very next fight and win these fights. Styles make fights, not if you're coming off a fucking loss. But whatever, man. Let's go through some of the ones that people alleged that Pacquiao, he fought these guys coming off losses, okay? Let's go through some of these guys. First one that comes to mind off the top of my head, I'm not looking at anything. Sugar Shane Mosley, right? Sugar Shane Mosley. Manny Pacquiao defeats Sugar Shane Mosley. Prior to that, Sugar Shane Mosley had a draw with Sergio Mora. I repeat, a draw with Sergio Mora. Oh, Sugar Shane was old when Manny Pacquiao fought him. He fought him a year after Floyd Mayweather fought him. Mayweather fought him May of 2010. Pacquiao fought him May of 2011. Are you fucking kidding me? How old? What, a year apart? Not to mention Pacquiao put his title on the line, ladies and gentlemen. So what are we saying? Not to mention, prior to the Mora fight, Sugar Shane Mosley lost to Floyd Mayweather, but took very minimal damage in that fight, ladies and gentlemen. Very minimal damage. And prior to that, he had a big victory over Antonio Margarito, which honestly was a con fight for the Mayweather fans because Margarito had eye issues at that point already. He wasn't nearly a top, a world-class fighter, in my opinion, at that point. It's just that Sugar Shane beat the shit out of him, sold it to the world. The world believed that Sugar Shane Mosley was back. He got the Mayweather fight. He lost the fight. He had a draw against Moore. Then he turned around and he fought Pacquiao. So he wasn't coming off a loss. He was coming off a draw. The fuck out of here. Then went on in the future after Pacquiao and took even bigger fights. Just as bigger fights. So come on, man. Fuck out of here. Mosley was old. If you want to use the excuse that Mosley was old when he fought Pacquiao, you got to use it when he fought Canelo and also when he fought Mayweather Jr. also. Pacquiao's victory ain't no fucking different. What makes his more impressive is the fact that he was, at this point, way out of his weight class. But no one don't want to mention that. Next fighter. How about we mention Oscar De La Hoya? Oh, Manny Pacquiao, he drained Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was a dead man walking into that fight. That is very, very true. Manny Pacquiao took Oscar De La Hoya to a weight that he hadn't fought in years. But the fact of the matter was, Oscar De La Hoya turned down a rematch with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Possibly at a more comfortable weight. If anyone gets the blame for that fight, it's Oscar, because he did not have to fight Manny Pacquiao. He could have pivoted and got another fight with Floyd Mayweather, or took it back up to 54 if he wanted. But Oscar was the one chasing the bag of money and went down in weight to 144 pounds or some shit. Don't blame Manny Pacquiao for draining him. Don't blame the smaller fighter who's coming up in weight, who can't possibly make the full-fledged welterweight at that time. Don't blame the smaller man. Blame the bigger man for coming down so he could have took a fight with Floyd if he felt like that, man. You know what I'm saying? No one don't like to mention that shit, man. He could have easily said, okay, instead of fighting Manny Pacquiao, this is what he wants. I'm B-side now. It's all about Manny Pacquiao, and this is what he wants. He wants me to fight at a weight that I'm going to kill myself to make. Why don't I just fight Floyd Mayweather again? Because he knew he would lose to Floyd Mayweather, and at the time, people had Manny Pacquiao as the underdog to Oscar De La Hoya. All the boxing experts picked Manny Pacquiao to lose against Oscar De La Hoya, and then he proved the world wrong, and now we're going to sit back and just, hindsight is always 20/20. Oh, he drained De La Hoya. Oh, Freddie Roach. These are, trainers are strategists, man. They supposed to have strategy. They supposed to try to get the edge for their fighter. If the other fighter allows it, then it is what it is. Don't everyone at the time. I'm pretty sure all of these so-called people that's talking this shit now were the same motherfuckers back then talking about, yeah, man, Oscar De La Hoya, he's disrespectful for fighting little ass Manny Pacquiao, right? Well, look what the outcome of that shit was, and now we want to nitpick at that. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. When Manny Pacquiao fought Ricky Hatton, let's talk about that one. Ricky Hatton, ladies and gentlemen, was coming off a decent victory when he fought Manny Pacquiao. He wasn't coming off no losses. He fought Floyd Mayweather in 2007. Manny didn't fight him until 2009. And this is after Ricky Hatton was coming off a big victory against Paulie Malignaggi at that time. Also, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what doesn't get spoke about much since we want to talk about weight. If anybody fought Ricky Hatton at a weight that he wasn't used to, it was Floyd Mayweather. Floyd fought him at full-fledged welterweight. Ricky Hatton, for the most portion of his career, was a 140 fighter. Manny fought him at 140 and knocked him out in 2. It took Floyd, 6-7 rounds to finish off Ricky Hatton at 147. I don't hear no one talking about that. Ricky Hatton came into the Pacquiao fight lighter than Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? So don't give me that shit, man. Don't give me that shit. On top of that, took the IBO off of the dude Juan Lescano. That was his name. I believe that was his name. I mean, come on, what are we talking about? So Ricky Hatton was at his normal weight, coming off 2 victories, one against a world-class fighter in Paulie Malignaggi at the time. And Manny Pacquiao turned around and knocked this ass out in 2 rounds. How was he coming? He wasn't coming off no loss. So what are we talking about here? Manny Pacquiao ducks, turns Crawford, but fights Ricky Hatton at his natural weight. What the fuck, man? Are you kidding me? Miguel Cotto. Let's look at the Miguel Cotto Manny Pacquiao fight. Now, at the time, when Manny Pacquiao faced Miguel Cotto, Cotto was still fighting at the welterweight division. Cotto was another fighter that was not, I repeat, was not coming off losses. Prior to the Manny Pacquiao fight, Miguel Cotto had just defeated Joshua Clottey, and he also, prior to that, had defeated Michael Jennings for the WBO welterweight title. This was after his loss to Antonio Margarito. And we all know what went down with that, Margarito. So Cotto had 2 decent victories, one being a title fight, the other being a title defense against Joshua Clottey. And he turns around and he loses to Manny Pacquiao. Wasn't coming off losses. Now the thing was that Pacquiao drained him down to a catch weight of 144 pounds. 3 pounds lighter than welterweight. Now, at that time, Cotto was already having a tough time just to make him welterweight because the Pacquiao fight was the very last fight that Miguel Cotto has ever had at welterweight. After that, he went up to 54, and he's been there ever since. And for us to say, okay, Manny Pacquiao drained him and this, that, and the third, I can get with that. Especially for a guy who was already struggling to make 47. I can get with that. But once again, it's strategy. It's strategy. Take in mind, after Cotto lost to Manny Pacquiao, he went on to become a world champion once again. So he wasn't a shot fighter by far. And not to mention, Cotto got knocked down twice in that fight, but he was hanging with Pacquiao. Pacquiao just had way than Miguel Cotto at that weight. He just had way more stamina than Cotto. And I'm pretty sure those 3 pounds and making him cut those 3 pounds had a hell of a lot to do with it. I'm not denying that one bit. But Miguel Cotto was not coming off losses. Once again, people don't understand. Whenever Pacquiao drained a lot of these guys, Pacquiao was coming in at a disadvantage also. He's fighting a bigger guy. Even when he drained the guys, these guys will rehydrate bigger than Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? He drained these guys for the weigh-ins, but they were rehydrated coming to the ring much bigger than Pacquiao, as the way that Mayweather did with his unknown weight when he fought Manny Pacquiao. So don't give me that shit. This is just for the weigh-in. In the fight night, they're comfortable. They're at comfortable weights. Pacquiao is coming up in weight. He's making you cut 3 pounds. A guy who's struggling to make 47, but he's making you cut 3 pounds. All right, I'm sacrificing coming up. You're sacrificing going to come down. We're going to meet each other halfway. We both sacrificing. Fuck that. He beat Miguel Cotto after Cotto came off 2 victories, went on to become a world champion again afterwards. Come on, man. This shit is bullshit. Where's Pacquiao fighting all these so-called fighters coming off these big losses and shit? I'm looking for that. Pacquiao versus Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri was coming off the biggest victory of his life by gaining a world title by defeating Ruslan Provodnikov in a hell of a fucking fight. Turned around very next fight, had to vacate his titles by moving up to fight Pacquiao at a catchweight. 3 extra pounds, ladies and gentlemen. I think they fought at a catchweight of 143. 3 pounds. Something that Chris Algieri graciously accepted. And this is the thing that they don't talk about with Terence Crawford. Who's to say if Terence Crawford was to face Manny Pacquiao at a catchweight, because Manny Pacquiao is campaigning at welterweight now, and a lot of you fucks out there saying it's cool for him to fight at these catchweights. So if Pacquiao faces Terence Crawford at a catchweight, will Terence Crawford have to vacate his titles the same way Chris Algieri had to? Because this would lead to Chris Algieri not being a world champion. It wasn't because that Manny Pacquiao defeated him. No, it was because the WBO told Chris Algieri, if you leave this weight and you go up in weight to face Manny Pacquiao next, then we will strip you of your title. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. He sacrificed his title to go after that big bag of recognition and money of facing Manny Pacquiao. So this was a come up for Chris Algieri. And take in mind, Chris Algieri has been fighting at welterweight ever since. So for people to say, oh, he fattened up Chris Algieri. Well, why is Chris Algieri fighting at a much heavier weight than 143 pounds today? He just lost to Errol Spence. He lost to Amir Khan. Those 2 fights took place at welterweight. So Pacquiao giving him 3 more pounds. The nutritionist, I'm wondering, did he do him a favor? As you clearly can see, I can go through Pacquiao's entire resume and tell you why people are full of shit. Not to mention, trilogies are always a mark of a great fighter. A man who's willing to get into the ring again with another man who he either beat or he either lost to. The risk is always higher in the second and third and fourth fights in Pacquiao's case. You know what I'm saying? So for him to even do that, and then you want to accuse him of ducking another fighter when he stepped into the ring more than 2 to 3 times with one fighter? Are you kidding me? That is the higher risk than anything. Fighting a man 2, 3, especially if it's a world-class fighter like Pacquiao did. I tell you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I could do this all day. I'm not going to do it. I could do this all fucking day. Okay? I'm not going to even get into the Mayweather and Pacquiao shit. How the Joshua Clottey and Pacquiao fight that took place in the Jerry's World Stadium was supposed to originally be Pacquiao and Mayweather backed out 2 weeks prior to the fight. The fight could have happened in 2010. We're not going to go there right now, ladies and gentlemen. That just is a little too much truth, and people are going to be calling me every name under the sun. I don't give a fuck. Stop disrespecting Manny Pacquiao. All right? The man lost. A lot of people like, oh, he been put to sleep. Stop disrespecting Manny Pacquiao. For the people to say he ducking Terence Crawford, whom is on his way, no doubt about it. But he's fought much bigger monsters than Terence Crawford. Clearly, People out there don't know shit about boxing, or they just got a straight up bias agenda. Period. And that's just being real fucking talk. I'm gonna leave it at there, because like I said before, I can go through Pacquiao's entire resume and pick this argument apart with fucking ease. But I'm gonna cool it and I'm gonna chill, because people out there don't know what the fuck they talking about. To the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Main Man Made Man. Always remember, when people criticize Manny Pacquiao, you can never accuse. You can accuse him of being an opportunist, saying he took advantage of certain fights and took advantage of certain fighters, put them in tougher situations to fight. I can't argue with that. But to say he ducked people, a man who's fought Hall of Famers multiple times, Eric Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez, Timothy Bradley, a man who's faced champions at every division, who went through 8 divisions, a man who sits at the top of the boxing world, he's a pay-per-view star for a reason, he's accused of ducking Terrence Crawford. Whatever the fuck. To the next video, peace out.